Welcome to Live 5. I'm
Hey,
Jack.
I'm Jake.
Started kind of on time. According to my watch, it's 5. We're okay to go. We got a handful of guitars here today. This one's a little crooked. Oh, it's because I had a telly on there earlier. And I didn't reset the cradle. That's all it takes. Anyways, welcome to Live 5. Like I said, we got a handful of guitars. I got a couple dreadnoughts. This is actually a fun representation of the guitar world. This is about the bare bones minimum of what the guitar world looks like. The only difference is that's a Taylor dreadnought and not like a concert or an auditorium, which would be more, the auditorium would be a more representational fit for Taylor.
But it's
So let me just take my knife out. We'll cut it up real quick. Make it look like a 114.
yeah. Let's not give me the knife.
No, we don't need that again.
No.
Jake had to leave early one day because he tried to open something
Uh huh.
with a knife. Didn't end well. So,
First
I mean,
time.
it ended okay. You're here. You're fine. You have all your fingers.
Yeah. Like I said, first time ever.
It happens. Let's see. Next weekend, so not this coming weekend, not the 19th, the following, the 26th, is our Recycle Restring event with D'Addario. So remember, you come in with your one guitar. You bring in your one guitar. We recycle the strings on your one guitar. And we will restring it for free with a pack of D'Addario XS strings. That's it. That's all it is. You get one free guitar restrung, or one guitar restrung for free. And we give you the strings, but we have to put them on the guitar.
Okay.
We can't just send you with, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't bring in this really old guitar that you don't care about, recycle those strings, get that restrung for free, and take a pack of strings home. You can buy a pack of strings and take them home, but the idea is you bring in your one guitar, we recycle the strings that are on said guitar, and then you get a free set of D'Addario XS strings to go on back on your guitar. They're really nice strings, so I think it'll be pretty taken by them. They're really nice. Taylor is a great example. Puts them on everything now. That's the default string and all their stuff are the D'Addario XSs. Unless we're getting into obviously things like classical guitars or those GS Mini basses that use the D'Addario, but there's a little nylon core there in the middle there. Backline Films. Oh! No free guitars. No. Free restring. That's why I stopped myself. So, free restring. Let's make it very clear.
Okay.
You bring in your guitar, you get a free restring. I'll take a free guitar. But guitars like this come pre-strung with the D'Addario XS strings on them. And this is brand new from Taylor. It's a nice limited model. This is the Academy series. One of the finer points of the Academy series that people tend to look over and forget about is there are features on the Academy series guitars that typically come from higher end models, and people just kind of don't realize that. So the Academy, Taylor specifically, I believe is one of the few companies where your entry level guitar and your highest level of guitars share some features. Specifically on the Academy series, the Academy and the 900s and the 800s, like when you get higher up there, are the only models that share this bevel on the armrest on the guitar.
Yeah.
Which has always kind of blown my mind that I can spend $1,000 or I can spend $4,000, and those are the only two guitars that have the armrest there, which is pretty crazy to think about. This is the Academy series. Let me make sure I got my right notes pulled up here. Nope, that's the wrong guitar. That'd be kind of dumb. Be like, oh, this is a blonde Telecaster. No, this is Academy series. Let's see here. So yeah, the Academy. This is the 10E. So 10 from Taylor means dreadnought. Not necessarily 10, but 0. The 0 means dreadnought because that dictates your body size. I'm just having this epiphany that we should do an episode where we break down all the body sizes from Taylor, an episode where we break down all the coding for Martin, and to help ease the pain of the world. we should do an episode where we try to decode all of these model numbers for Ibanez.
Oh, that will take centuries.
That's a five-parter.
Taylor, that's easy.
Taylor's easy. Taylor you can do in 5 minutes, but if you tried to do an episode where you decode all of the Ibanez things, it might be a while. But these are very cool because what's nice about these is when normally this is, they say, a spruce top and Sapele body. These have a really nice figured Koa body. So where the normal version comes in at $7.99, because of the figured Koa body, you're going to be looking at $9.99 on these. Limited editions, so get them while you can, especially if you're looking for just a great guitar that comes in at a pretty good price point and get you rolling. Especially with the electronics on there, it's always a great addition, so you can get moving with gigs and recording and all these ventures that you might find yourself in. Let's move on from there to the Blontelli that I accidentally pulled the notes up on first. I love a butterscotch Blontelli. I don't care what model lineup it's from. I don't care if it's Squire. I don't care if it's Player Series, Standard. Let's see, we can literally go Squire, the Sonic Series.
Minis.
There is a Blonde Mini, a butterscotch Blonde Mini. The Standards, Player 2s, the Vintera 2s. I think the Pro 2 has a butterscotch Blonde. The American Vintage 2. However, I don't think the, no, I don't think the Player 2s have a butterscotch. They did that Hyacinth Yellow. So there's a couple lineups that don't have butterscotch blonde this year. You have the Player 2. I don't recall if the Ultra 2s, I don't think, have a butterscotch blonde finish. And then obviously your custom shops will. But I think a couple of your mainstays have kind of gotten away from butterscotch. So if you want that butterscotch blonde finish, I think primarily you're looking at Sonics, Standards, Vintera 2s, maybe the Performer, but you're missing out on things like Player 2, Ultra 2,
Yeah.
maybe Pro 2s. I can't remember 100% for sure on that.
I can at least say Player 2, especially the Modify. It's just Sunshine Yellow. It's not butterscotch.
Yeah, so I think your mainstay lines from Fender right now don't have butterscotch, but that's okay because the butterscotch from Sonic, Standard, and Vintera 2 are all phenomenal guitars. And of course, if you go custom shop, there's no complaints there.
There's no stopping there.
Yeah. 9.5-inch radius. Let's see, the maple neck. I've been raving about these Sonic guitars since they came out. So whenever I see a new color that comes into the shop, I always want to pull it out and show y'all. Because you never know. Maybe you don't check our website that often. Maybe you only check it every few days. But here we are. Butterscotch Blonde Sonic Telly. I love the Sonics. I need a bass for at home, and I'm really leaning towards just buying the Sonic P bass. I just need it for writing purposes. It's not like I'm going out with it. And I could always replace the pickups.
Yeah.
Put some Seymour Duncan quarter pounds in there. Now I want McDonald's. So, I totally forgot this Strat existed until a customer asked me about it the other day. This is the Jimmy Vaughn Tex-Mex Strat. And what's really great about this guitar, and there are, I mean, like any signature model, there are some variances. There are things that change. There are mods to consider. There are very specific things that stand out. But I got to thinking about this one the other day, and what really blew me away on this is there are features on this that you more often than not would only find in a custom shop model. This is one of the few Strats that comes stock with the Tex-Mex pickups. Mm-hmm. You have two overwound pickups, one in the neck, one in the middle, and then you have the hot bridge pickup in the bridge position. But it also has a V-shaped neck. And the only time I can recall in recent history of having a Strat in regular production come through the shop is we have a custom shop Strat that has Tex-Mex pickups and a V-shaped neck. And it really got me thinking, I totally forgot about this guitar, but I love this guitar. Like, I pulled it down for the customer the other day, and I measured the neck, I weighed the guitar, I was going through everything, and the more I was looking at it, I was like, this is a fantastic Strat. I was like, I would put it up there with the Stevie Ray Vaughan and all that. Like, this is something that just kind of gets hidden about, and people kind of forget about it. 9.5-inch radius. Comes with a nice Fender Deluxe gig bag. They're Godo tuners, but branded as Fender. Alder body and the nice Olympic white classic finish there. That's a fun killer Strat. I totally forgot about it until someone's like, "Do you have this in stock?" I was like, I do have that in stock. And then the one thing I really like about it is that it still has like this old school Fender label on there. And no matter when you buy this guitar, that label's still on there. But it's US vintage hardware. The Tex-Mex pickups. I totally forgot that existed. Walking away. So, this here, not too long ago, the Gibson redid the studio line, and they came out with some phenomenal looking guitars. We had this one in this like honey burst or lemon burst or whatever. Honey, lemon maybe. Now it makes me want chicken wings. I'm on food for some reason. I can't get away from that. So what's great about these guitars is they've completely redone it. If you remember the studio Les Pauls in the past, they're very bland compared to this. These guitars are super nice. I'm a huge fan because what's nice about it is you have this bevel on the heel. So if you're going up higher, it's way easier to reach these higher notes up there. The finishes on these guitars alone are fantastic. This is the Bourbon Wash, the Bourbon Burst finish. Let's see here, my notes, because I couldn't remember what pickups were in it real quick off the top of my head. Yeah, the 57 Classics. So you have the 57 Classics. You have these awesome Bourbon Burst finish. It's a slim taper on the neck profile. Plus that carved out heel. And I believe the Sessions, they're like $2,000. The new Studio Sessions, I put you right around $2,000. So if you're in the market for a new Les Paul, those are, Jimmy, the bourbon on there is a really nice finish. They did a really good job of, bursting into it. Some things you see, well, no, it sounds funny to say, but you see some guitars.
Pun not intended.
Yeah, but like some 3-color bursts look like a 2-color because they just put that little thin stripe there in the middle and it just doesn't cut it. But they did a great job washing out to the burst edges on here. It almost looks like a glow. If you're ever familiar with PRS, sometimes those glow finishes, and the way that it fades out from the center to the edge almost looks like the way PRS does some of their glow finishes. I like that a lot. Down to the last one, and this is actually my favorite out of the bunch because it's an acoustic guitar. And no matter how much I love my electric guitars and amps and pedals, there's just something about the historical importance that comes from acoustic guitars that just sits well with me and, pun intended, resonates strongly. And I get it because it resonates. And this one is a fantastic guitar. This is the D17, so it's a mahogany model from Martin. The series, like the D series, and then like the 00015M series, like the M series guitars, when you have like the D15N, the 00015M, you have the D17. They all feel super lightweight, but that's what helps them sound so big because the wood is so thin and it allows for all that movement and all that reverberation and all that resonating and all that happens to take place because the wood on these guitars is so thin. What I like about it is it's forward shifted X bracing on the inside, so that's going to help transfer a lot of the sound because if you just have your standard X or sometimes rear shifted tends to make your guitar a little more tinier in my experience, but if you have it on the forward shifting, what that does is it's going to give you the full volume of everything possible. We're looking at a solid mahogany back, a solid mahogany top. And this is what I like about it the most on these D17s. It is the golden era modified low oval neck shape, which is a fantastic feeling neck. What's great about this is I personally have a Martin Dreadnought that I use for all of my acoustic gigs. That guitar, if you were to look at the top of it, you can tell I'm playing it a lot. The top is destroyed. I've tried, but that thing gets upwards of 15 to 20 hours a week, just that one guitar. Like it gets well played. But what's nice about it is I've worn in the neck, right? So it has these rolled edges. The finish is kind of worn off on it, and in doing so, I have almost kind of created my own taper on the neck because I've just been wearing it out. This feels just like that, which is what I love about that modified low